Why, hello, and welcome to another episode of First Chances with Chance. And in today's episode, we're going to be discussing school. School in general, like K through 12 and onwards. So, as you guys know, I recently graduated with my associate's degree. Now I'm working on my bachelor's. Oh my god, when I tell you that school is beating me up, it is beating me up. I started to go to tutoring so to help me out a lot. Um I don't think there's really a tutoring like a tutor for one of my classes, my online class, which is sex, race, gender, and sexuality, I think. Or it's just something with society, and all of that. Um, Whoa, I just got like super lightheaded. I don't know if it was what I smoked earlier or if it's just that I haven't really eaten today. Who knows? Probably the fact that I really haven't eaten today and I kind of need to cook food before I head to work because I'm tired of just taking my generic like peanut butter and jelly uncrustables with a apple and a muffin. Like I don't even really eat the apple. Like I'll eat the apple when I get home if I'm hungry, but I don't really eat the apple. And then like later on when I go and smoke, I get hungry, so I'll end up eating the apple. Whatever. Apples also help with digestion, but that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about school. So pretty much I've been going to school in the same area for the past 20 years now since I was 3. Well, I wouldn't say 3. I would say 4. I did pre-K for like speech and all of that, so that was fun. Evidently, one of my high school teachers was also my teacher in pre-K. Like she, um, like remembered me and everything. So that was pretty cool getting to see her again. Cause I was like, wait a minute. Like when I first saw her, I was like, wait, you look really familiar. And then after one of the year, like I did it was my instructor for one of the clubs I was in. I was in the club all 4 years of high school, which it makes no sense. Like why we didn't have chords for that club. Like I put all my energy, like a lot of energy into that club, and I was in other extracurriculars too. So it's not like I wasn't still helping out. I was like required to check in with the other club because I was in Science Honor Society and all of that. I did theater in high school. I did Science Honor Society, National Honor Society, FFEA, which is Florida Future Educators of America. Um, I was in SECME, which is Science, Engineering, Construction, Mathematics, and Education. I did that when I was in elementary school, and then I picked it back up when like I went 1 year to in middle school, or one day, and I just like I wasn't able to fit it into my schedule in middle school for some reason. I don't know, like I feel like middle school was the roughest years for me, possibly because I didn't do any like clubs or anything. I didn't stay after school and help out like I liked to. I got a lot more done too when I was in high school than I did when I was in middle school. Maybe that's why I was able to juggle it because it wasn't that I was burnt out, it was more of the fact that like I was having fun and doing all this extra stuff, but like now that I have like a bunch of bills to pay, like I didn't have anything that I really had to worry about with work when I started working my junior year. So like I was spending a lot of my money on other stuff, yes. Didn't get a car until I started going to college. I went to started college right out after graduating high school, so that caused me to get a little burnt out. And yeah, definitely caused a lot of my depression to come back too. Like I was doing, was I in any clubs? I don't think so, but I had like bills and everything that I had to worry about paying. So it's not like I wasn't just lolly lolly like lollygagging. I actually had stuff that I had to take care of. So I feel like once adulthood kicks in, like everybody's like, oh, I can't wait to be an adult, this, that, and the other. Like, oh my god, I'm gonna have like work and work and work and have so much money, and then it truly hits them, and I'm like, and they're just like, oh, that's what adulthood is: depression, work, school, depression, work, school, depression. But like growing up when you're a child and you're around all of your friends, this, that, and the other, it it doesn't really kick in once like life has truly once life has truly like kicked in and you're finally like being an adult and paying bills and all of that. That's when it truly kicks in. Life experiences happen, some that shouldn't have happened, some that were meant to happen, that are bound to happen to anybody. um but yeah, like it shapes you, and I wouldn't say that it's necessarily like a good thing that it does that. Like it definitely shapes you, like depending on what you do, it'll, or depending on what happens, it shapes you in a good way or it'll shape you in a bad way. Like how I was sexually assaulted, that should not have happened, but it happened twice. One at the restaurant that I worked at, and one at the retail store that I left earlier, around April last year. Um, but school's definitely kicking my butt. I'm not used to taking so many classes and working so much at the same time. Especially when I was, what, last year, maybe I was taking two or three classes first spring semester, and then the summer semester I only took one class, which was Calc 3. So that was easy. I haven't really taken a full load of classes and God knows how long, maybe about a year and a half. I have no clue. Um but it definitely, I would say that um it's not a bad thing. I wouldn't say that it's a bad thing, but I has taken some getting used to. I was definitely really tired yesterday. I know I didn't really get a chance to eat anything yesterday, and I was throwing up yesterday morning. I feel like my anxiety is getting like a lot worse, so I am cutting back on the amount that I do smoke. So yeah, it's definitely benefiting me and has definitely helped a lot. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a quick break and come back with more school talk. Alrighty, so now that we're back from the break, we're gonna go into more depth about how we grew up in school. Whoa. Yeah, I definitely need to eat something. I'm probably gonna put those balls in to the oven. I have little chicken balls. Not actual chicken balls, but yeah, barbecue bites. Um, Possibly, cause I kind of want it coated in like actual barbecue sauce. I don't know. I might just go and no, cause I have to eat before I leave too. Um, oh, I can cook that in the oven. Okay, cool. So yeah, growing up, I was picked on quite a bit in school. Probably third grade was when it was bad, bad. Like I evidently stopped eating. Like I wasn't eating as much. Um, I don't know why I stopped eating. I just it was instinctual, but like it was unconscious. Like I didn't really think anything of it. It more so I was bullied uh on the President Obama's inauguration, like the speech when his first term. It was more of the fact that like he tried sticking my head into the toilet. There was times that he tried choking me. There was times that like it wasn't a lot that he did. It was more or less just him picking on me. Um, at one point he did throw my so yeah, it was him bullying me. He threw my bag, like my backpack, out of the room, and I'm just like, "Are you freaking kidding me? Like, come on! Like you're like that. There was no reason to throw my bag out of the portable. It really made no sense. It wasn't until we spoke to like the principal and the guidance counselor and everything that like stuff was done about it, and he was sent to another school to pretty much yeah, like he was suspended from the elementary school and was sent to go to another school. And then a year later, we were at fourth grade. We were at the Roger Dean Stadium for a baseball game or like baseball preseason, whatever you want to call it. And he's there, like with the school that he was sent to go to. And I'm just like, oh hey, da 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 da. Like he was a completely different person too. So obviously he learned from his mistakes and didn't do it again. Cause I think that they sent him to one of the schools where they send the troubled kids that misbehave. So yeah, he was surrounded by a lot of troublemakers. At least that's what I think, but I have no clue. I haven't seen him since, or I might have. I just never knew. Um, Middle school, like I said, was the worst. That was more of my self discovery period. Like I came out as bisexual to my parents. They told me that it was a phase, which lo and behold, it's not a phase. Um, and like I came out in middle school, so like I had a crush. I literally, if you guys have watched some of my um storytime videos, I used to have a crush on my sixth grade math teacher. Yeah, yeah, that was sixth grade, and then seventh grade was more like that was when the depression truly started. And then I yelled at my parents at one point. It was like, you're the reason why I'm depressed, right? Like, this generational depression is caused by the parents. And so, like, they were like, no, you don't know what you're talking about, this, and the other, blah, 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 blah. I feel like I started going to therapy. Like, I was re-diagnosed. Like, I went to get re-diagnosed, got diagnosed with having autism. Yes, I'm autistic. Um, and which at one point, for the longest time, I didn't want to believe that I was. And now that, like, I have a bunch of these friends that are, I'm like, oh wow, like, I do similar stuff. Like, now I see what the doctor was talking about. It's not necessarily stuff like that, but like I get like super like overly excited sometimes. Sometimes I don't even communicate my words. I just point. Like, I might be high functioning, but you can't always tell because I can hide it very well. But yes, I ADHD, OCD, anxiety, and high functioning autism. Um, yeah. And then seventh grade, I feel like my mom started bringing me to therapy a lot more, or I started going to therapy. I haven't really, like, I go every maybe 3 months now to refill my medication, which is all out. And yeah, and then eighth grade, like seventh grade, I failed one of my classes. So, in order to get into the school that I wanted to go to, I busted my ass, and in order to get good grades, yeah, that was a lot. And I was in math academic games, and I want to say seventh grade or eighth grade. So I was definitely a busy bee. And at one point when I got to detention, I had practice for math academic games, and they pulled me right out of detention, and like they're like, oh, we need him for math academic games. Like, we have a competition coming up soon, so they let me leave detention, and yeah, which that class also helped me with a lot of algebra. Surprisingly, like, I pulled information from that club into algebra when I took algebra. So yeah, I was in pre-algebra, I think, or because seventh grade I was in advanced math. Eighth grade I didn't get placed into. No, I think I took algebra in eighth grade, and then I took geometry in. So I was in math academic games in seventh grade, and then I don't know, it was something. Um, because some of the symbols were symbols I never knew about, and then like I ended up seeing them in one of my math classes like later on. But we're gonna go ahead and take another break, and then be right back. So now that I'm back again, eighth, seventh or eighth grade was also the time that I got my first girlfriend, and we ended up breaking up around Valentine's Day for cause like I said, I got a detention, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to really go to the Valentine's Day dance anymore because I got the detention. Because I know that this school had a rule where if you got into trouble, you weren't able to go to any of um the school events. So I was like, hey, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to go to the dance anymore. Da 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 da. I will keep you updated. Like, I was in tears. because like on the bus I was going home and I was in tears. I was like, I'm not gonna be able to go to the graduation dance. I won't be able to be with so and so, which was my let's just call her um Danielle. So I was like, I'm not gonna be able to go to the dance anymore with Danielle. I got a detention, this, that, and the other. My parents were so upset because I got a detention. I was like, hey, da da da. Da. But like I said, it just so happened to work out. I was still able to go to the dance. We ended up splitting before then, but everything worked out. I was still able to go to the dance. I um didn't really get detention. I was probably there for maybe 5 minutes. Like I had already told the instructors, that the teachers that were in charge of math academic games, that like, hey, I have a detention. I'm not going to be able to come to practice today, which they needed me because I was one of the strong. I was a strong um player, I guess you can say. So I was. We didn't win any of the, or like we might have won once, um, because I got high enough points, but I also had lost a couple games. So yeah, but they pulled me out of detention probably within like 5 minutes of me being there. They're like, hey, we need him, this and the other. Eighth grade, I busted my ass to get like straight A's and B's to have a high enough GPA to go to the high school I wanted. And so in high school, I was in so many clubs. Freshman year, I did theater freshman year and sophomore year. Sophomore year, I was the busiest. Was in, um, I was in three plays, one for elementary schools, one that was put on for the public, and another one that was put on for the public. I was rehearsing two plays at the same time at one point. So yeah, don't come at me because I be fly. What? I don't know. But yeah, I was definitely busy in high school. I guess you can say that I was the Katie Heron of my group. I almost overthrew the Regina George of the group during a birthday party. Yeah, we're not gonna get into that. But yeah, high school was definitely fun. I will say that it was fun. I did get my first job in high school working at a Dunkin' Donuts, and which I worked at for probably about 2.5 years until I got a new job offer to work at the restaurant, which it was the same restaurant that I was sexually harassed at, and then I applied for Target twice, and during COVID was when I got hired because I needed more people because I guess everybody was getting COVID and this, that, and the other, whatever. And plus Target was open during COVID, unlike other businesses. COVID ruined a lot for me. Like I was supposed to have my 20. I was gonna have a birthday party or go to Disney um for my 21st birthday. But nope, I had to work and I was only able to really get a bottle of wine and went home and drank the whole thing. I was out of school for quite a bit. I met quite a few of my friends now throughout life, like a couple of them one of them at the Duffy's that I worked at, another one at the Palm Beach State, quite a few now at FAU, And yeah, quite a few, like, I didn't start really going to the kava bars until I ran into um one of my old coworkers from the restaurant that I worked at. We were two completely different people from when we worked together, so it's definitely fun. And because I started going to the kava bars so much, I've met quite a few new friends. Um, and yeah, became close with a couple of them. Messed up with a couple of them. Then yeah, said sorry to a couple of them. Quite a bit of them. To be honest, last week's episode was not the best. I will say that. Um, but we've come back from that episode and said sorry for for that everything that was said in that episode. Like, that was most of my frustration just coming out. And yeah, so college is college. I just would not recommend going straight into it after graduating high school, especially if you are going to school every single day. Like, you need to give yourself a break. You just graduated high school. So, yeah. I feel like that's another reason why I got burnt out, was because I was just boom, 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 gotta do everything, and wasn't really giving myself time to breathe. So, yeah. I hope you guys like this episode. Don't forget to leave a comment, text, leave a voicemail to 561-320-7085. DM First Chances with Chance on Instagram, or if you guys watching the video portion, just comment down below. Again, text or leave a voicemail to 561-320-7085. DM First Chances with Chance on Instagram, or if you guys are watching the video portion, just comment down below. Bye guys, love you!